Hey, welcome to this little Beers, Jack of Barbecue. Check out the picanha we did on the SNS Travel Kettle. Hey, I'm Craig, man behind the camera's Jack. Yes, got a whole picanha. It's a little bit smaller. Got it from Wilhauer Farms. It's a place I told you about before, near Quakertown, Pennsylvania, which is kind of about an hour from us. Really good quality beef. Picked up a picanha a while ago, just never got a chance to shoot it. So we thought, get the Travel Kettle out, cook the whole thing as it is, and then slice it after the cook. That's something I haven't done often. I know before we showed you the Travel Kettle where we did some like on over fire and some in the pan, and I kind of like the pan, the way that worked for the searing part, but we always got to try something new and see how it works out. So all I did was salt brine this thing about 3 hours ago, and that's it for a picanha. I know that's what they say is traditional. So I'm going to actually cook this, going to turn this upside down. Not upside down, but cook it fat cap up, because the indirect side of it, the heat comes over the top a little bit. So hopefully that'll start rendering some of that fat into this meat. So looking forward to cooking this thing. So we'll see you on the grill. All right, let's get this on. Forgot to mention in the beginning, let me grab them over here. We always start the grill with the fire cups, and I have some meat on my hand here for this, but always use the fire cups. So we're gonna do our normal, put this thing on, let it sit. When it gets to about 80, I may not flip it over, I may just spin it, just again to promote even cooking. Like I said, when we go to sear this, we're going to see what happens to that fat when we do it. And it won't take long to sear it because it's not as marbled underneath. It's marbled well, but not fatty. And then the top we'll have to just keep our eye on so it doesn't burn on us. So bring it back when we get to about 80. All right, so we just hit 80 on the meter. Just going to turn it. Like I said, instead of me flipping it over, I'm just going to spin it this way to kind of promote some even cooking. My grill's running a little hot because of, again, had some older coals in there. I want to make sure they were burning well. And so it's running a little over 300, but no big deal. Just going to let this thing ride out. When it gets to maybe about 105 or so, I'll actually do a reading on it, make sure where we're at. All right, so the meter's saying we just hit 110, so I want to check some things out here. Kind of plumped up a little bit, so I'll see where I got this reading coming from here. That's pretty close to reading there. All right, so we did get a 110, 109 there. So we're gonna let this sit on just for a couple minutes yet, probably get to a 112 and I'll pull it off, get this real hot, we'll bring you back for the sear. All right, so let's start the searing process. I'm gonna actually try to get the fat part to start searing because the fire isn't raging yet, but we're gonna still have to keep an eye on it because of flaming. Well, so much for that thought. Flames took off pretty quick, but like I said, it's probably fine. I just want to keep an eye on things. Oh, that's looking nice though. Try this for a minute. All right, that's about a minute. Let's try a little bit more on the fat side. And we definitely get a lot more room on that side. So actually that was wrong because I want to put it on the colder side. Just let this go till the flames get a little bit on it. What about 20 seconds? I think that's all the fat we'll need, actually. Now we'll just try to get a good crust on this other side. There's a minute. Let's just see where we're at here. It's starting to get there. See what we got there for a sear going on. Want to get just a little bit more, then we're going to be done here. Trying to get that one side a little bit seared better. So go a minute here and we'll be done. All right, let's pull this off. Let's see what we got here. That should do it. Let this thing rest for a little bit and we'll see you on the cutting board. As always, cheers. All right, here we are, end of the cook. Did a whole picanha on the SNS Travel Kettle today. Like I said, salt brine it about 3 hours in advance. The grill was running a little hotter than I'd prefer, but not a big deal. It's like just over 300. Actually probably worked out well because of the fat cap on here. Got it nice and melty almost, if you want to say it that way. Put it over the fire to get some searing done on it. You saw it flame right away, but got a really nice looking fat cap on here. And then worked a little harder to get that bottom, seared a little bit better. But again, not a big deal. It's going to all work out, and it looks perfect actually. Again, this is from Wilhauer Farms. Like I said, just a little bit south of us where Jack and I live. About a 45 to an hour drive for us to get there for some good beef. So lucky to have that around us. Let's cut in this, see how it is. So I'm going to try to cut it with the grain. Is what they kind of do, and I'll take a couple slices here using our Kyoku carving set here that we showed you before when we did our capons. Boy, nice, beautiful looking, almost rare. But this baby is tender. So I didn't want to just eat off that end piece, so I got a nice second piece here, but ooh, that looks nice. Let's get a slice to try. This is super tender. Wow, was that really good. Super tender. I love the salt, that salt brine only, that flavor that it gives when you bite into something like that. And with picanha, I like fat on a steak. I know Jack doesn't care for it as much, but just that little bit of an edge on there. Man, is that so good. So hopefully like we're seeing, subscribe to our channel, click the little bell, get notifications, and we'll see you next time. Cardinal sin, forgot to drink. Take care.